Storm Stories. Super Tuesday becomes a super tornado outbreak.
Can't believe it's happening.
86 tornadoes, 10 states, one heroic day. Storm Stories, tomorrow night at 8 on the Weather Channel. Tornado Week, all this week, only on the Weather Channel. Now, your local on the 8s.
Currently, the temperature is 29 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Our local Doppler radar. For tonight, decreasing cloudiness, low 21. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And on Wednesday, partly cloudy early, followed by increasing clouds with showers developing later in the day. High 41. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. And Wednesday night, showers ending early, low 31. Chance of rain 30%. Our week ahead.
The Oklahoma City area has been struck by over 100 tornadoes, more than any metropolitan area in America. But few, if any, could compare to what happened in May of '99. 119 tornadoes killed 47 people in 8 states on May 3rd and 4th, the strongest of which came on the 3rd when an F5 struck the Oklahoma City area. Mobile Doppler radar measured a record wind of 301 miles per hour. It caused over $1 billion of damage, ranking it as the costliest tornado ever in the U.S. 36 people lost their lives and 583 were injured. Certainly that tornado in Moore, Oklahoma left a lasting impression on the people in that area and all of us that witnessed it that day. I want to ask our panel, guys, which tornado or even outbreak made the most lasting impression on you?
Well, I think if you go back to probably the deadliest tornado in the super outbreak of '74. That's the one I think was a benchmark for a very long time. Xenia, Ohio. It was one of a handful of F5s that day. Devastating tornado to that town, just absolutely annihilated it. And I think, unfortunately, became a benchmark for violent tornadoes until maybe even 25 years later, the Moore, Oklahoma tornado. So I think that one, at least in my mind, really stands out as one of those tornadoes you may never forget.
And then there was the EF4 in Enterprise, Alabama, more recently, which actually went right through the high school, and it took down a concrete wall that fell on 8 students. And I think this one is unique because it's one thing when we as adults have to deal with something like this, but to see high schoolers have to go through this and what they saw and their heroism and how they helped each other in going back to school, that really left a lasting impression on me.
I'd have to say the EF5 tornado that hit Greensburg, Kansas, May 4th, 2007. It was the first EF5 tornado that I was covering live here on the Weather Channel. And Greensburg, I had been there. In fact, it's kind of a sister city to a town next to where I grew up in Pennsylvania. So I had been there. I had some personal feelings and just the dread of knowing that there was a tornado, a big tornado heading into town, and it wiped out 95% of the town, a terrible tragedy.
Greg, you saw like a donut hole in that thing, and you knew that this was going to be horrible.
Yeah, the debris from the town was being whirled up in a big donut.
Well, guys, I mean, when you look at all the pictures and certainly the outbreaks, the one that stands out in my mind is Palm Sunday. This is not Palm Sunday '94, but Palm Sunday, April 11th, 1965. This was just a huge tornado. I mean, you think of a wedge tornado, the big wedges, a mile, 2 miles wide, 3 miles wide, whatever they get to be. And you see the fact that this thing had, you know, one wedge is bad enough, but it looked like it had 2 wedges. And Dr. Foser, you and I were talking about this photo later on. Dr. Fujita actually said this wasn't just one tornado, it was actually 2.
2, yeah. 2 sequential or forming in a family from the same parent thunderstorm.
Either way, you see that and you know it's not going to be a good result. No.